one-man enterprise,
Yeah.
Bashar.
We'll start. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and of course, our most welcome guests. I want to start this speech by querying you. Who has received a feedback that was challenging? Thank you. As we see, day in, day out, we receive feedback in different contexts. It might be family, it might be a father giving feedback to his son. It might be at school or university, a teacher, instructor giving feedback to their students. It might be at work, and most of us at work, and we receive feedback from all directions. And I feel that everyone is common. There is common theme there. And the common theme, most of the time, the feedback is negative or challenging. It's difficult for us to absorb it or to grow out of that feedback. Today's session, we are going to go over what we call evaluate to motivate. We are going to give feedback, but that feedback is going to be inspired to go to the next step, to do things different and to grow and be bigger. But before we start doing that, let's talk about why we are doing it. We are in a Toastmaster context. There is a mission for every Toastmaster club. This is the mission that we all read during the inauguration, first time you are a new member. The themes that I would like you to remember: supportive and positive learning. This is why we are here. Even if you are providing a feedback, that feedback must be supportive and positive. Why? Because we need that positive and supportive so that we can get that self-confidence and we can grow. So, before we start, let's ask the question: why? Why we need evaluate to motivate? I want you to read this statement by Mark Twain. It says, "I can live for 2 months on a good compliment." Do you agree? Some of us, yes. Some of us will say 2 days. Some of us will say a lot more. This was a card given to one of my fellow co-workers in BC Fairs. There's a trick. The facilitator asked them to go back to their work and write a positive note to a fellow co-worker. And Nelson will right away say, "That person gave it to me." And how I know that? Because I received the good note. Just read this note. "Dear Bashar, thank you for being you, as always, uplifting, positive, encouraging. Never underestimate your value and influence." Can you imagine my feeling after receiving that card? Can you imagine your feeling if you receive such a card? No wonder it's now not 2 months, it's now 9 months, and I'm still carrying it forward with me. What I want you to reflect on, imagine a similar message is being shared with what? In a family context, in a school context, and above all, in work context. Imagine you are receiving most of the time, if not all of the time, positive encouragements. So that's the why. Within the context of Toastmasters or school or family, it's a win-win situation. If you are providing the feedback, you are helping yourself first. And how you are helping yourself? Because it's going to improve your listening skills. It's going to improve your critical thinking. It's going to improve how, after you think, how you are going to present that information to others in a positive, inspiring way. And it's going to improve your public speaking skills, like now. If you are the person who's receiving this feedback, it's obvious. You're going to learn new things. At the same time, a new concept in learning, they say some of the old habits, you need to unlearn them. And by doing this, you grow to a better version of yourself. Another reason for giving that positive feedback is that you get that self-confidence. You can do it because you keep getting that positive feedback. And then by getting the self-confidence, you will shine. So now let's stop the why and let's move to the recipe for success. You want to know how can we do it? Paul is evaluating me today and he wants to know how he can provide me with positive evaluation. It's going to be a tough mission, but we're going to share with him the recipe. The recipe for success is first, you need to learn the ropes. Can you imagine someone succeeding in a game, let's say football, and they don't know the rules? Seriously? You can't. You have to know the rules. Second, our minds are wired to observe the negative. And you need to start rewiring them, starting this session, to observe the positive. Third, when we observe the negative, we want to think before we share our opinions. And fourth, as you know, BJ will tell you about real estate, location, 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 and I tell you here, practice, practice, practice. So let's dig deep. Learn the ropes. In terms of the learning of the ropes, if you are providing feedback in Toastmasters, the feedback might be within a club, and you are providing a feedback for a guest, a new member, or you are doing one of these speech manuals. In this case, you have I give you a handout in front of you, and in that handout, you are going to see different evaluation forms. If you go to the last one, it gives you an example of speech number 3. Get to the point. And there is an evaluation format for it. So the key theme here is that you need to know what is the objective of the speech in order for you to evaluate the speaker. And you need to know if this one is a guest, the person who's speaking, or a veteran Toastmasters. Makes a big deal. If he or she is a guest, guess what? You are on a mission to make them inspired. So you need to amplify the positive more and forget about the negative if they are guests. The next one, if you are in a contest, there is a criteria. It's also in your handout. So before you come here, you need to know the criteria. For instance, in contest, you are allowed 3 minutes. 3 minutes and 13 seconds, you are disqualified. We don't want to be disqualified. So this is the learning the ropes. Now rewiring our minds to observe the positive. This is a tough deal. Why? Because as you see all the news, have you seen a breaking news where they say, good news, someone has won, someone has overcome a big challenge. All what we see is someone is dead, someone has killed someone else, fire, we see all the bad news. So the challenge for you is to rewire your mind so that you observe the positive. And you might say, Bashar, how can we do that? Everyone needs to find their way. I can tell you my way. When I am observing a speaker, when I notice myself smiling a little bit, that means something has, I'm impressed with something. You need to find yours. I look at Dawn and she gave me the smile. She likes something. So that's it. You need to find your way. And the last thing, this is science by the way, so no one should debate with me. It has been researched, it has been founded. In order for you to continue to have that inspiration, the ratio of positive to negative needs to be at least 3 to 1. 3 positive emotions, 3 encouragement, 3 strengths, 1 negative or challenge. Think before you speak. So we are quick to find what's wrong, and I assure you, when someone is writing a speech evaluation, they'll find right away 6 or 7. Just put them there, and what I want you to do, find the top key of those ones. Like for instance, you might say, Bashar, you are not taking the space here. So why I'm not taking the space, you can clearly see something else. Is this important or not? Just try to find what is important from post 6, 7, and just select those and amplify them and put them in a positive way. practice, practice, practice. Start here by providing evaluation for, like now, what Paul is doing with me. Try to go outside for contest, speech evaluation contest. Try to go to other clubs. That's practice, practice, practice. I know, you don't believe me. You want to see something. You want to touch something. So here is your encouragement dose. I'm going to cut the suspense for you, but we're running out of time. The key theme that I want you to take from that one, he started by at least 3 positive things. When he wanted to move to the challenges, have you noticed what he said? How can you take this great speech and make it even better? So it's not criticizing, it's making something much better. What I want to share with you is that there is Kristen, she's a Toastmaster. She shared with us these key themes that you can go and have a look at them. They keep talking about active listening, about personalizing your language and being specific. Now, what are my lessons learned? My lessons learned in the club, what we are doing is that when there is a guest or a new Toastmaster, when they come and they do their first competent communicator or their first icebreaker, we make sure that we assign them a veteran Toastmaster. Who knows that veteran Toastmaster? who's the person that Bashar keeps selecting as a evaluator, speech evaluator for new members? Tammy Blair. The second thing, recording speeches help us learn much better. Even me, when I started seeing my first recorded speech, I was saying, wow, this is a different Bashar than the one that I know. The third one is allowing 1 minute after every speech like now, so that the speaker can get collective feedback from different sources. Every one of us thinks differently. In a contest, what I've learned, because I went to 2 contests at least, watch out for time. I'm guaranteed that I've been disqualified once for timing. The second one is expect the unexpected when you're trying to evaluate someone. One time I saw someone who when he memorized a story, and from the beginning to the end, I was struggling to find something to say. So the more you practice, the more that you will get rewarded with ideas. Make your evaluation exceptional, stand out, say something different than others, and summarize, be brief, and focus on the strengths. I want to leave you with this, and this is in general. If your actions, which means if your evaluation, inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, become more, then you are a leader, and we all aspire to be leaders. Mr. Thomas.
Well done, Bashar. Thank you for taking your time on setting up the presentation techniques. Let us please take 1 minute.